All right, let's talk about finding the right dog trainer for you and your dog, right here in Port Hueneme.
You know, living in Port Hueneme is all about that amazing coastal lifestyle. And having a well-trained dog means you can actually enjoy it all without any of the stress. Just think about it. Nice, calm walks down Hueneme Beach, or just hanging out at the Channel Islands Harbor without your dog going wild. That's what we're aiming for, and we're going to show you how to get there.
So, training that's geared specifically for life in Port Hueneme, well, it just works better. It's about so much more than sit and stay. A good local trainer gets what our unique environment is like. You know, teaching your dog to ignore all those seabirds on the sand, or to stay relaxed with the sounds from the naval base. It's about building skills for your actual real life here.
Okay, next up, we're going to get into the different training methods and the types of programs you're going to see out there. Knowing what your options are is really the first step to making a smart choice for your dog.
The first thing you'll want to look for is positive reinforcement. Honestly, this is the modern science-based standard. It's all about rewarding the behavior you want to see instead of using force or punishment. It's humane, and it builds this incredible bond of trust between you and your dog, which is exactly what you want.
So training usually comes in one of three flavors. Group classes, they're fantastic for socialization and teaching your dog to listen even when other dogs are around. Private lessons are great for tackling very specific goals or issues happening right in your home. And then there's board and train, which can be an amazing option for busy owners who want an intensive, professional jumpstart. Just think about which of these really fits your dog and your schedule.
Okay, so you know the basics of what's out there. Now let's talk about how to find the right person for the job. This is all about making sure you're hiring a truly qualified professional. Now, this is really important. In California, there's no state license for dog trainers. That means these professional certifications are a big deal. When you see something like CPD-TKA or KPA-CTP, it tells you that a trainer has put in the work to get educated and follows ethical, modern methods. And for more complex behavior stuff, a certification like IABC-CDBC shows an even higher level of expertise.
To make things easier, here are 5 must-ask questions for any trainer you're considering. You'll want to know their philosophy, their credentials, and for sure ask how they adapt their training for a coastal town like ours. And obviously, you need to be clear on the costs and, importantly, how they'll teach you to keep the training going.
All right, let's get down to the practical side of all this. We're going to go over what training typically costs around here and the local rules you need to know. Both are key for budgeting and just being a great dog-owning neighbor. So the question on everyone's mind, what should you actually expect to budget for professional dog training in and around Port Hueneme? Let's break it down.
This table gives you a pretty good idea of the average costs in our area. A typical 6-week group class will probably land somewhere between $165 and $310. A single private lesson is usually in the $100 to $180 range. As you can see, the more intensive options are a bigger investment. Just remember, these are ballpark figures, and a trainer's experience will definitely influence their prices.
Now, besides the cost, being a responsible dog owner in Port Hueneme means you've got to know the local rules. They're there for a good reason, to make sure our beautiful public spots stay safe and fun for everybody.
And here is the single most important rule to remember: 6 feet. That's it. That's the maximum leash length allowed in all public areas here. We're talking the beach, the parks, the harbor walkways, everywhere. And here are a few other key things to have on your checklist. Your dog needs a current rabies vaccination, and they have to be licensed with Ventura County. It's also smart to be aware of the nuisance laws. Good training can definitely help with things like excessive barking so your neighbors stay happy. These are all just simple parts of being a responsible owner.
Okay, this is the fun part. Once you and your dog start picking up some new skills with your trainer, it's time to get out there and practice. And we've got some fantastic local spots in Port Hueneme to do just that.
To put it all into practice, you can head to Port Hueneme Beach Park to work on that loose leash walking with all the sights and sounds of the ocean. The Hueneme Dog Park is, of course, a perfect, safe spot to nail down that recall command. And for a more structured walk, the Channel Islands Harbor is just ideal for practicing polite manners around boats, people, and bikes.
So with all this info, you are totally ready to find a great training partner, someone who's going to help you and your dog get out there and explore all of Port Hueneme with total confidence. A well-behaved dog makes everything better, from quiet nights at home to having company over, and especially to enjoying our beautiful city together. Best of luck on your training journey.